Cam Newton was very upset, says he plans on talking to the commissioner. There was a low hit in that game against Arizona. We can all acknowledge this. This had nothing to do with him being a runner. Where does this story go from here? And did Cam help or hurt himself by bringing this up publicly?
Well, I don't think it ever hurts a player to call out what he thinks is a problem. I don't think you're going to have officials who deliberately don't give him calls now. If anything, they're going to feel compelled to watch it more carefully. From the NFL's perspective, and look, I haven't had the time or the ability or really the inclination to track down 3 years of film for 12 different quarterbacks and vet this, but the league's position will be there are at least 11 other quarterbacks who have more missed roughing calls than Cam Newton since 2013. And apparently the league believes there have been only 3 missed ones on Cam Newton. That does seem low to me, but that's how the league will push back if Cam Newton keeps pushing this, pointing out, and it's kind of a tough argument to make. It's like, hey, Cam, there's nothing specifically against you. We miss a lot of these calls. And maybe that's the deeper issue
Yes.
here. Whatever the reason, they need to find a way. And I know it all happens so quickly. It's happening in real time, and the players are fast. We saw Brian Hoyer get his arm broken by Clay Matthews' helmet, and Matthews wasn't flagged. He was fined after the fact. That doesn't do the Bears any good when their quarterback has a broken arm. These flags need to come out, and it needs to be no quarterbacks having missed roughing the passer calls. That's what the NFL needs to aspire to.
Does Cam have to change his style, though? I mean, eventually you have to say they're not going to give me this call, so I can't keep playing the way I normally play then if they're not going to give me these calls. Does that happen with Cam Newton?
Well, I don't think it does, because then you start trying to consciously think at a time when you are operating on instinct and reaction that has been honed over years and years and muscle memory, et cetera. The only way to change his style is to get rid of the ball faster. And then what happens? You're throwing the ball before the guy's open, and you're trying to avoid hits that way. If you think about trying to avoid hits, I think it makes your game harder to implement. The key would be, and whatever it takes to call these guys out, whether it's Cam Newton or any other quarterback in the NFL, when a guy is hit illegally, we know what the strike zone is when he's in the pocket. It's from the head and neck area down to the knee area. And if you're hit anywhere on the body with the helmet, that's a flag, and that should be thrown, and they shouldn't miss it for any of them. And I think the NFL, whether it's by using replay review or just making sure that the referees are held accountable, because the referee, the guy with the white hat, the leader of the crew, is the one who was there with the jurisdiction over the quarterback. That person needs to be expected to throw the flag.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.